Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Pop Contention. I am your host, Will Walkie Washkoon, along with hosts
Critical Joel.
It's your boy, Jelani Hoon.
And we are coming to you a little bit late this week. I apologize for that. We were just watching something that I think we're excited to talk about this week. But first, before we get into the topic, I want to just remind everyone to thank you for being here. This is twitch.tv/Pop Samurai Network. You can find us here Thursdays starting at 4:30. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Pop Samurai Network, Twitter at PopSamuraiCast.com, PopSamuraiNetwork.com, and hit us on that email, that newfangled email.
That's right.
PopSamuraiNetwork@gmail.com, and you can talk to us, and we might even talk back. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
I'm doing
doing
all right.
well.
I'm excited
Good.
for the show.
I'm good.
I'm really glad you guys are here.
Yeah. Well,
I've been like, I felt so far away from you guys.
where
and
else would we
isolated.
be?
I don't know.
Right here. We're always with you.
I mean, we can sit on your
I don't know
lap,
if you guys
both
know
of
this,
us,
but the
if you want.
stream is always going, but the cameras aren't always on. We're just trapped.
I think it
Thing
was
right here.
Shakespeare that said life is a stream,
Yeah.
That's
Yep,
right.
That's right.
That's
right?
exactly what he said.
No? Whatever.
I believe
Oh,
it's Bruce Lee who said life should be like stream, where you go around rocks and things like that. That's
Yeah,
what happened.
yeah.
And I think it was
rocks
Marty
over the
McFly
platform.
who said, let's make like a tree and get the fuck on with it.
All right.
Our topic for this week's Pop Contention is the top 5 bounty hunters,
Dun, dun.
spurred on by the start of Disney Plus and the airing of The Mandalorian this week,
Yeah,
which we actually dug into right before this.
that's right.
And
Ooh.
so we
Look
were
forward to it.
inspired.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Look
we will
forward
talk-
to aficionados in a
We
little
will
bit.
talk
when we
about a lot of new stuff in Aficionados, so
Oh, yeah,
stay
there's
tuned.
gonna be a lot of stuff, guys.
But I say we just get right into our top 5
Let's
list.
jump right into it.
Feels like it's been a minute.
You know, like,
shake
I
off
feel-
the...
This is the thing. Like, I feel nervous
Shake
right
off
now.
the
I don't know why.
cobwebs.
Like, we
Jelani
haven't done
doing
like
so.
a contention for a little bit. Like, we've just been like having fun and becoming closer as friends. And you know,
Yeah.
I would even think family.
Yeah.
But then like now we're about to strangle each other with lists.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Yep. I can't wait to hear how crappy your list is. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Okay. I forgot how cutthroat these are. Jelani, because I don't think I can stop you. Why don't you go first?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy here, back again with number 5, my list of bounty hunters. I've thread the line here. I was like mercenary, bounty hunters, kind of the same ilk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like,
So bounty hunter is kind of a weird category in that it does straddle a lot of lines.
yes.
Basically, anybody who accepts jobs hunting things down for some sort
Some
of
payment.
reimbursement or
Reimbursement.
job or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to. That's
Not
what I
an
went in for.
Not an assassin though.
not an
clear.
assassin in that they can bring back live targets, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
because
they
bounty
don't
hunters-
always
into that.
kill.
I strayed away from it, but in case somebody else did, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
about that.
bounty
I
hunters. It's a thin line.
Yeah,
it's a very
I know.
thin
Yeah.
line.
Because an assassin always kills.
That's the point.
Whereas
Exactly.
a bounty hunter might take contracts that don't
I
necessarily
agree.
involve
Yeah,
I agree.
anything dying.
exactly.
It's a
Number
thin
5
line.
for your boy here. I'm gonna go with a character from one of my favorite Tarantino films. I'm
Oh.
gonna go with Django from Django
Nice.
Unchained.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
right on.
The Django.
I
The
like.
Django.
I like where your
The
head's
D
at. We'll
is
see
silent.
where that
Number
goes.
5.
Joel, you're number 5.
All right, my number 5 comes from a video game that I played a lot of as a kid.
Oh, I know which one this is.
It is Samus Aran.
Very good.
I could have called that half court shot. That's going in.
My number 5 is also a character from a game that I played a lot when I was younger. It's Captain Falcon.
Yes,
No.
I know. I heard though that it's like he didn't take on always. He wasn't specifically always a bounty hunter, but he was known to take on bounty hunter tasks.
Well, so the backstory that you get for his character is that he's a famous bounty hunter.
Mm.
But as we know, we find him famous for his racing
Yeah.
and his smashing.
yeah.
So
Which could be bounty hunting. Who knows?
It's just hunting down Smash Balls.
Percentage points.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Jelani, number 4.
Number 4 is from a game that I used to play when I was younger. It is before he became leader of his clan in the Krogans. I'm gonna go with Erdnot Rex.
All right.
Woody boop.
Now I know Mass Effect wasn't that long ago, but technically I was younger when I played it.
That's true. That is true.
And he's still a child to this day.
I'm still a child today.
Joel, number 4.
All right. Mine comes. I had to get a Western on here, so of course I'm putting Blondie from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. That's Clint Eastwood, baby.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
All right.
We'll have to discuss this later.
My number 4 is a media mogul of sorts. He's been in films. He's been in video games. He's been in comic books. He is the irreplaceable, the irreverent, the impossible, the Deadpool.
Oh, all right. I was like,
nice.
where are we going with this? Who is this?
Who?
Talented.
I've already expended my entire argument in that little introduction, so I'll just cross him off.
That was pretty good. No, I knew that was going to come up eventually, but I didn't think of it as the way you explained it already.
Number 3.
Number
for
3
Jaboy.
for Jaboy here. I wanted to get another Western on this here, but I wanted to get a Western game. So I'm going to go with John Marston from Red Dead Redemption.
Cool. Very cool.
Well done. Joel, number 3.
All right. I had to go Star Wars this time around, except you might have noticed before when we were talking that I know a lot of detail about this character. It is IG-88.
I know you do. I can't wait to talk to that scene with you guys in a minute.
Oh, I was so ecstatic. I didn't want to give it away, but yeah, IG-88.
All right. Number 3 for me is someone that I think is greatly respected by 2 people on this panel.
Oh.
That's going to
You being one
be
of them.
the man himself, Spike Spiegel. It's heavily appreciated by 2.5 people here.
Was that your was that number 3 for you? I'm
That
sorry.
was my number 3.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Jelani. Numero dos.
Numero dos. I'm gonna go with a character that is called hasn't earned himself the nickname the Terminator in comics. I'm going with Deathstroke, the Terminator.
Nice. I was wondering if you'd do something like that.
I'm going
I got
with
one of my
Deathstroke.
runners up. I'm curious if you're gonna be like,
Yeah, I'm going with Deathstroke on this for my number dos.
Nice, man.
Moving right along. Joel.
All right. My number 2 is the true heir to the anime bounty hunter, and he was given the name City Hunter. It's Ryo Saiba, the original anime bounty hunter. I'm just kidding. I had to be a shit out about it.
I know you. It's another half-court shot I could have called. I was like, he's gonna try and shit on Spike in this one. I could tell.
I don't think I spelled
That's
that
all right.
right.
Don't worry about it. Just put City Hunter. That's fine.
Number 2 for me is someone that was in video games when I was a kid that I played a lot. And her name is Samus Aran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
we do have some overlap.
Surprise!
I was curious, yeah.
I thought there was going to be more overlap. I haven't run into it so far.
Yeah.
Jelani, why don't you bestow some honor? This is the part where we give some honorable mentions.
Oh, here are the honorable mentions of Jelani. Lobo. I'm going with Lobo as one of my runner-ups here because he's the main man.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Yuna when she becomes like a bounty hunter.
Yes,
in
and
Final
Pain
Fantasy.
and Riku.
Pain and Riku. I want to give a shout out to Deadpool. I thought it was. It's funny because Deathstroke and Deadpool get confused a lot sometimes.
Sure. It's almost like one of them was inspired by the other one.
Exactly. And I think that's all I'm going to go with.
Some would say improved.
Short but sweet list here.
And
I'm
it's
just
short
go with,
and
oh,
sweet.
honorable mention, Spike Spiegel.
Yes.
Not on my list.
I guess not.
No, it's not.
Joel.
All right, I have a shorter list this time. I have Rooster Cogburn from True Grit, Gunsmith Cats, which is an anime, 2 girls, and William J. Johns from Pitch Black, the only person I know who has caught Riddick.
There you go.
Space Dandy, the anime.
I wash
Gene
my hands
Starwin
often
from
so I
Outlaw
don't
Star.
catch Riddick. Yeah. Oh, duh.
I was like,
sorry?
anybody?
We talked about that a while
Gene
ago.
Starwin from Outlaw Star.
Oh, okay.
I am going to go download that and watch it again.
It's
like
so
I
good.
said I was going to do the last time we talked about Outlaw
It's so
Star
good.
on
Huh.
this show.
It's like a
Interesting.
forgotten show, kind of.
But it was really good.
I
And
know,
it was
I
a Toonami
yeah.
Well, I
mainstay
totally
for a
forgot
bit.
about it. I didn't even cross my mind. Okay.
This one will be a little unknown. Mikura from Mezzo, which is an anime.
Mezzo, yeah,
Have you
I've
seen
read Mezzo
Has
too.
you really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Rundown, The Rock in the Rundown, I should say.
Was he a? Oh, he was a bounty hunter because he was
Yeah.
trying to catch Sean William Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
I have Django on here. I have
Django.
Daisuke Ito, the scientist that's in Alita. He was kicking some ass. I don't know if you guys ever read that or ended up seeing the movie, but I don't know. That's a worthy one.
one of my-
I have
on my
Lobo
list.
on here, and I was surprised that you would have Lobo on here as well. I'm like, damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Surprised the comic guy would have Lobo.
I have Barbed Wire on here.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Spike Spiegel, I do have to give him a mention, of course. I can't let that go by. And then Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh,
one. That was
yes.
the
Stranger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
That's
premise
awesome.
of the entire game.
Oh, that crossed my mind for
All right.
sure.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I like that one.
That's all I got.
That's really good.
All right. My list. Make it 3 for 3 because Lobo's on there as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kalo Nord from KOTOR.
Mm.
The first one.
Oh, yeah. God.
John Marston's there. Let's see. Deathstroke is on there as
Nice.
well. Jet Black. I actually like Jet a little better as a character, but I think Spike Spiegel's the one that has the talent to actually pay the bills.
Yeah.
Riku was my favorite in X2, so I put her
Yeah.
down.
It's a
And
little more
then
spunky.
I just thought of this, but the Shield from WWE when they were a trio,
Oh, yeah.
they kind of did the boss's
did.
bidding and they hunted down people for various rewards.
I
So
like that. That's cool.
I thought that was kind of fun.
I'm not as familiar with wrestling, but I'm glad to
always
hear somebody
liked-
got that on here.
I always like to throw some wrestling in there
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. It's
I
you
know.
know.
Oh,
it's-
that's a huge mainstay
thing.
of pop culture.
Okay, enough with this honorable BS. Time to get down and dirty in the muck. Let's bring out the big guns. Jelani, you're number one.
Number one, wonder what it could be for my number one here. I'm gonna go something that I don't think it is on anybody's list here. Actually, you know what? I know it's not on anybody's list here. It's from a video game I played when I was a child, and it's one that I love very much. It's from Final Fantasy VI,
I thought you were gonna say
and I'm gonna
Bowser.
go with Shadow from Final Fantasy
Yes.
VI.
Yeah. I saw that come up on a list, and I was like, I didn't even think of that.
I really need to finish my latest
call,
playthrough
dude.
of that because I don't.
You'll have to give us a
remember it
little
that
more
well.
background though.
Yeah,
because
once
it's
when
been a
he's on the
long
list,
time.
I will go through and talk about why I think he's
Cool.
He's
I
really
feel
cool.
like we almost got to Shadow. I just don't recall. Whatever. Joel, you're number one.
All right. This one is like Tears in the Rain to me. It's Decker from Blade Runner, baby.
I could have called. I was like, okay, it's one of these. It's gonna be one of these. And the second he put IG earlier, I was like, it can't be the other one. It's got to be this one then.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you guys know what my number one is.
I
I don't know. What do you mean?
thinking I know, but go ahead.
It's pretty obvious. I talk about him a whole lot. I
Yes,
will say
the
that
only one that we don't have on our list.
I
at
will
all.
say that I know that he's not on either of your lists.
Yep, exactly.
And it's
I know
not
what
just
it is.
because I'm going last. It's Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Yep, I know. That's all it is.
That
right?
is
You are
That is the best bounty hunting experience you can have
in a video
in video
right?
games, in my opinion.
Bravo.
See, but we haven't played it, so
I've never played it, man. I'm sorry. I actually didn't even know he did it for money. I thought he was just a psycho hunting monsters down because he's I'm a monster, so I must hunt these monsters.
I am getting quite
I
interested.
feel it in my
trying to play that
bones.
one.
I could just like stream it for you guys if you don't actually ever want to pick it up.
I would love that actually.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would definitely do
Would
that.
you
Would
go?
you start
Would you
with one?
start with one? Would
Yeah.
you go all the way back to one and play all the way
I
through?
would
Can
do.
you?
I would do one again.
Do you,
That'd be
do you have
really
it for
fun.
PC or how
I
do
have
you...
all three of them for
Let's
PC.
figure out.
yeah.
Let's figure out a way to do that. Let's do like a commentary playthrough of like Witcher. That'd be amazing.
great. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
absolutely.
That'd be cool.
All right. Well, the time for niceties is over because now we step onto that battlefield. The trumpets blaring, the fires cackling, the cat callers also cackling
Hey,
because
sweetheart.
thank you. Why does this always happen? Maybe it's because I'm dressed like a gladiator.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time to nominate for the first round of debates. And Jelani, you get the distinction of going first.
Boy, oh boy.
Boy.
Man, what do I want to do here?
Really quick, but while you're doing that and before we start timing stuff, can I just say we didn't have Boba Fett on our list? Is there a reason why none of us did that? We didn't say we couldn't have him.
No.
Is it just too obvious, or were there reasons?
Okay,
You guys.
there are reasons.
Yeah,
one,
same here.
One, Star Wars is not my biggest fandom, right?
Okay.
So like, I
Although
think
you have
he's.
a
I think he
picture
has a
right there.
very.
There
Yeah,
might be
he has,
another one.
he has a
around
he has
here.
a he's a very cool, aesthetically looking character. He was, and I could see why he caught on like fire when people were really into that. So,
Yeah.
but he was never really my big fandom, right? So like,
Sure.
of course, I have a bunch of like comic stuff and everything like that on here. So like, that's why I gravitated more to.
Well,
so
let's
like,
be honest. In the original trilogy, he did nothing.
I mean,
And he was really only on screen
for
in
2 minutes in Jedi,
yeah
and he got
for,
his ass
for
kicked.
like 6 minutes total.
The badass Mandalorian got his ass kicked, and that, I don't know. I loved it.
Well, he wasn't a Jedi.
I know. No, I know. I mean, I grew up loving that, but that's the reason. It's like,
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
mean-
We'll exclude that. So,
yeah.
I don't know if you had any other reasons.
Especially because it was a little obvious.
Yeah.
I decided, but
Yeah.
then again, I have a pretty obvious list. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, but they're a little more thought provoking than just being like, who's the obvious bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Like, if you look
Mine,
at bounty hunter,
my
you
list
get
is pretty
freaking
much
Boba.
just like what I went to right away.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and
Took
so
me a
like I
little
kind of like
shoot, I didn't put any Mass Effect characters on this. I was actually when you said
So
Rex, I'm like,
unconsciously?
oh, I can't wait to argue Zaid against Rex,
Yeah.
and I didn't even put him on.
no, you didn't.
Late honorable mention, buzzer
honorable
beater,
mention.
honorable mention for that.
All right.
All right.
Honorable
Sorry,
mention.
sorry, I didn't
because
say
I
anything.
I
Have
don't.
we stalled long enough
Yes.
for you to come up with a pick?
Yes, I don't think my list is a bunch of stuff that I don't know if will go high scoring on this list, but I want stuff on the list. So I think I want a classic video game character on this list. I will go Shadow, my number 1, and I will actually drop him to number 3 on our official list. I'm gonna try and compromise this like contention. I'm gonna come.
Shadow was where on your
I'm gonna
list?
come in. He's my number 1.
Number 1. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Shadow is my number 1.
All right.
Final Fantasy 6 Shadow. I'm gonna try and enter him for number 3 spot. For the number 3 spot.
Okay. I am gonna put Samus at 2.
Okay.
I moved up 3
and
spots. In my
let's see. I am going to put. I'll put Spike Spiegel at 5.
All right.
And you put which one?
Samus at 2.
Okay.
I know this is tough.
This is a tough.
Already a tough one.
This is a tough one.
'Cause we all want our.
I thought we were gonna get a lot of crossovers,
Yeah,
but then I
I'm
realized, like when I was
surprised.
looking at my list, I was like, I don't know if there is because there's a lot.
Shit. Okay. 3 minutes on the clock. We've got Spike for 5, Samus for 2, and Shadow for number 3.
I mean, you start.
I will start arguing Spike Spiegel, and away I go. Okay, so we all know Cowboy Bebop. It's a space opera, and we've got bounty hunters, and it's kind of got this whole jazzy, like, underbelly vibe to it. And the reason that entire show works is because of Spike Spiegel's weird, like, noir detective feel with his gangly legs and his weird pistol and everything.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you know what? It's fucking cool. If I had to pick a bounty hunter that I wanted to be, that I wanted to live as, that I would aspire to, just from a drop dead super cool point, it's Spike Spiegel. He also has the added benefit of being the funniest one on any of these lists, because no matter how good he actually is at hunting bounties, between him and Jet and the rest of the crew, they always just get in each other's way, and it's hilarious. So I think Spike Spiegel is the quintessential anime bounty hunter. I think he should be on the list.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's go over to Jelani. Shadow, number 3.
All right, so Shadow's a very cool character from Final Fantasy VI because he's a character that you could completely blow by, right? And a lot of the characters in this game you can completely blow by. He is the ninja character that you kind of you see in the background, and he has his good
I just
boy.
remembered who he is.
He's this good boy with a German Shepherd in the game, and like. He's the coolest fucking designed character in the game, and you know that from his sprite. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I want that goddamn ninja on my team. And right away, it's like you want him. And at the first half of the game, he works kind of like on a freelance basis. Yeah. You pay him to join your team at the beginning. And you can completely lose that character and anything related to that character when the world, spoilers, ends, and like you don't save him when the world collapses. You know, if you don't wait for him, like he's gone, like that character is gone. But if you do, you can find a way to get him back, and there's like this he's like one of the characters that becomes like your main in your party. Mm-hmm. Like he's just a cool boy, he's a cool ninja boy, and he has a dog that just runs on through, woof woof woof, damaging the enemies. It's amazing. So he's the best character. I love him. So go,
Joel.
All right. I have Samus on here because when you play the first game as a young kid, I don't think you and I should mention also that it's Metroid. You don't really realize that you're doing the work of a bounty hunter, which I thought was a pretty big revelation when I learned it much later on. And even cooler, we don't have any ladies on this list. So I was like, you know what? This was a badass lady who kicked some real ass. Only to find that out at the end where you're like, you know, and especially as a young kid like that, I was like, wow, I was playing that the whole time. That's so cool. And it's like, not that it makes a big difference, but it was a pretty cool revelation. And then to go on and play more of the modern games and find out how cool that character really did age in terms of like, you know, how well it aged, and still be able to do the rolling bomb and all of that. It's like, there are so many cool features of this bounty hunter that just stick with you. And now they make her in that hot blue suit, and we all just think it's awesome. So.
way to throw that feminism on its head for a second there, Joel.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm gonna stop the timer right there.
Oh, how much time do we have left?
We had 20 seconds left.
Oh, I'm sorry if I took too long.
No, you're just fine.
Right.
We're all done.
All right, cool.
That was good.
That was good.
Yes.
Yeah, we motored through that.
I felt good about that.
So the time for debate has ended. The time for voting is now. We have Spike at number 5, Shadow at number 3, and Samus at number 2. We'll start with Spike and me, and I say, yay haw, cowboy.
Yeah.
Space cowboy. So it didn't work. Let's just move on.
Yeah, this Space Cowboy's got to get on this list, I think. I mean, it's obvious. I like the boy. He's gonna come in and he's gonna wreck shop on this list. So let's get him on here. So I'm gonna go with the yay.
All right, and then I had to put Rio or City Hunter at number 2 because it was my personal favorite. So I know that's not gonna make it on this list. So go ahead and take your rightful place. You get my vote.
2.5 yays. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Spike Spiegel makes it on the list.
Good stuff.
Up next, Shadow of Final Fantasy VI fame.
Yes.
At number 3, Jelani, how do you plead?
I think he's a good boy, and he has a good boy, so I think yes.
Ooh.
Joel.
Unfortunately, I don't have that good of a memory on this game, and I'm not as clear on how important the character was. Or I know that it's like you said, your description was passionate. Your description did say he gets paid to be on your team, and therefore it's a bounty hunter. I'm having a tough time saying that he should be on this list, though, so I'm going to leave it up to Will. I am not saying
no, go ahead.
no.
Sorry.
I'm just saying you make the decision. You know better.
The only way I would keep him off the list is by arguing that he might fall a little closer to mercenary than bounty hunter. But I believe that in his backstory, it's revealed that he is this well-known bounty hunter. He was the coolest thing, and I remember talking to him and thinking, if I don't find a way to recruit him, I'm going to eat my own hair.
Yeah, he's the character, like, right away. It's like, oh, I want that character.
So cool. Yeah, and he's like, if you don't leave me alone, my dog is gonna eat you.
And you talk to the dog, and he's like, wolf.
Which in dog means I'm gonna eat you.
Exactly.
He's cool as hell. I remember getting him and being psyched, and then losing him and being upset.
Yeah.
Shadow's on the list.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Number 2 is potentially Samus. Joel, what do you say?
We're gonna have 2 video games on here because I'm saying yes.
Yeah, I'm saying yes as well. Samus is like all time.
I don't think I could
doubt.
ever say no to having this character on this specific list. Like, this is one of those characters, like, if it wasn't on this list, there's something wrong with the list. And so
the list would be incomplete.
Yes.
Oh, I'm happy having, I was trying to think of one from Final Fantasy, so I'm glad we got a Final Fantasy and we got Samus on here. So This is cool. We got 2 good video games representing that.
I just thought it was
and
that
so
was
far.
really fun.
Most importantly, the letter S is kicking ass in our list. We've got 3
Yes.
characters
Good point.
with names that start with S.
And now the spots were fewer.
And now, yes. So to give everyone an update, after 1 round of play, Spike has taken the 5 spot, Shadow in number 3, and Samus are on number 2. The 1 and the 4 spot are still in play. Joel, you start this round.
1 and 4.
Are you
man.
ready?
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
I don't know what to do. I am gonna put IG88 at number 4.
He's going IG.
He's
going IG. Ah, shit.
He's doing it.
Oh, man. What do I want to do? I am going to put Deadpool at number 1.
Deadpool at number 1, huh?
That's what I'm doing.
Yikes.
Oh, shit. I'm going to do Deathstroke. I kind of want to put him against Deadpool. So I'm going to put...
Yeah, you
just
are.
for the fight, I want to put him against Deadpool.
Everyone wanted it. Now you got it. Stroking in the pool. All right. So we have IG88 number 4. Joel, that means you're leading off this time.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool and Deathstroke at number 1. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Your time begins now.
I'll never forget the first time I watched Empire Strikes Back, and they're on the Super Star Destroyer, and basically Vader calls in all the bounty hunters trying to find the rebels, and basically they're all lined up there, and you see, Bosk's little foot wiggling, got my attention. I was like, what is this reptilian guy? Oh, look, a couple, like a fat robot, a skinny robot, and then there's like this really weird looking robot that looks like a tin can on the top of a head on a broom and a few broom arms, and it's like, why would that thing be threatening? And I was always intrigued by it, and I don't think I was the only one, because out of all of the bounty hunters, he was the only one to get a 12-inch figure back in the early 80s. And I have that 12-inch figure because that is the only awesome bounty hunter that I still love till this day. I will go on to say that they have written individual stories about him, and they have a backstory now, which makes him come out to be that he is an AI that the second he was turned on, killed his makers, put his sentience into 3 other robots, and he's trying to promote a robot revolution. This is one hell of a bounty hunter, and the bounty hunter is a disguise for this revolution. How cool is that?
It's pretty sweet.
Anyway, I think it's pretty fucking awesome. So that's all I want to say about IG-88.
All right. Deadpool versus Deathstroke. I'll go first.
Cool.
Deadpool has made more money in the box office than the Wait, no, there isn't a Deathstroke movie. That's weird. Deadpool has sold a lot of comics, a lot of merchandise. He's the Merc with the mouth. He is the funny character in any scene that needs some levity. He's ridiculously powerful. They actually made a comic where he just kills everything because it was plausible that he could, because his real superpower is breaking the fourth wall and being aware of the fact that he's a comic book character. On top of the fact that he's superhumanly skilled and psychotic and can teleport and shoot guns with amazing precision and regenerate and all this stuff. He's just a powerhouse. And most of the time he's doing shit just for the hell of it. But every once in a while, that mercenary bounty hunter streak catches up and you get to see him collect. And that's very compelling, I think.
Very cool. Very cool.
Also, he's a dead ripoff of Deathstroke.
That's true. Here we go. Dead ripoff of Deathstroke here, guys. Also spawned a bunch of cosplayers to annoy you at conventions. But
that is true.
Deathstroke here, I just want to go into I like this character being one complete villain, right? He is a villain. He's done everything. He's done bounties. He's done destruction. He's done assassination, stuff like that. He's gone over the place. So, but he's a character that is human, right? Mm-hmm. He is a human character, but he is the best of the best. He is basically darker Batman. He can stand toe to toe with Batman. He has in numerous times gone toe to toe with many of heroes in the DC universe. He's a main villain for the Teen Titans. He's destroyed them. And he's even made Superman back down with a gun. And that's the thing where it's he's able to do things and play his game very well, and so I think that he is a strong candidate to be on this list, especially with how for him in that universe and how that universe is already populated by so many characters. He's still a standout character in that comic universe, so I want to go with that. So that's
he's a great character that just needed some slight tweaks and improvements to really get him there.
All right.
We may have gone past our time there.
Probably did.
Time to vote.
Yes.
Starting with IG-88 at number 4.
I love it. That's getting on there.
Oh man. So I had to look up what he looks like. He didn't make an impression on me.
I know.
He's
the weirdest little worthless thing, and then you find out it's an assassin? What? Why is he important?
You almost won me over with your argument. I think he's a good pick, but I don't know if he's better than other stuff. I'm going to leave it up to Jelani. So I'm going to say nay.
Okay. So man, up until just the thing we watched right before the podcast made me how could that thing ever be threatening? And then seeing it actually in action.
Yeah, because you read it and you're like, I don't get it.
I don't get it. But then watching it, I was like, I get it. I think it's really cool.
And this isn't a spoiler because they show that in the trailer, by the way. A little bit of the.
And I think I'll say that I like the character, and I appreciate you brought him to the table. Mm-hmm. But I want some other things on the list.
That's all right. He's gonna come walking in the door and take care of y'all.
Damn.
That's a nay.
The first casualty on this list, IG-88, does not make it.
Boo.
And so we move on to number 1, Deadpool versus Deathstroke. I'm sticking to my guns. I think it's Deadpool.
I think it's Deathstroke. And I wonder whether or not we're going to have Joel, whether we swayed him or not.
Yeah. So hold on. When we have the 3 people, you can't opt.
We
out,
solidified it like a week or two, or like a list or two ago, where we're just like, if someone abstains, everything gets lopped off.
So we can do that as a 3-person.
Yeah, we
Yes.
made it in.
Right,
we
right.
put it into action. If there is an abstain, like everything gets lopped off. So that's been a solidified rule now, which I'm afraid of.
This is tough.
So you got
you
three
have
options.
You have Deadpool on there, and you have no, I can't do this. Oh my god.
The pressure has been applied.
Yeah, the problem is I was a huge fan of Deadpool. I had New Mutants number 98 back in 91, and I got Circle Chase number 1, which was Deadpool's own comic, and I remember drawing him repeatedly when that art came out. I was a huge
doesn't
fan.
sound like a problem.
I know, except that
I mean, for me it is.
except that number 1 position doesn't belong to either of those characters. So I'm sorry, boys. You're gonna have to fight for something else.
Wow.
Woof.
That was heartless.
Woof. He gave like the glint at the end of the tunnel and then exploded the tunnel. He was like, when I was a wee child, I was drawing and I had comics and nay.
The important thing though, Joel, if that fight had happened at 5, who would you have picked?
I'd have to go Deadpool in this case. I'm sorry.
Okay,
right.
so I'll take the
terminated later.
moral victory on this one. And we'll move on to round number 3.
All right.
And I get to nominate first. Neato. I'm going to go with Geralt of Rivia at number 1.
Yep.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Big.
Jelani.
Yeah, you're up.
Jelani's here?
Jelani's here.
Jelani's going to put...
You got a few interesting ones left.
I got a few interesting ones left. I'm going to go for John Marston at number 1.
That was like the finger on on the pawn. All right, and then I'm going Decker, number 1, Blade Runner, baby.
Oof. Guys, I don't know. Can I change?
Well,
can I drop?
I would...
Should we give him a pity change? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can change.
No, I'm not doing it no more.
I would actually change, so we don't go 4 rounds with this.
Yeah, this is a rough one, actually.
I'll drop Geralt to 4.
No, we lost 4. That's right.
Yeah, 4 isn't filled either. Is that okay?
You can change number, I suppose, too, if you want.
No, I'm keeping John at 1.
All right. Geralt.
I mean,
at
John
4.
Marston's cool, man.
John
Yeah?
Marston's cool.
That's good.
I'm down. Yeah.
All right.
Are you dropping Geralt, huh?
Geralt is down to 4, even though I think he
Deserves one.
deserves it. But
listen, I don't disagree. I just never played the games, buddy. I'm sorry.
yeah, I get that a lot. Here we go. Okay, so Geralt of Rivia. For those of you who have never played the games, I know there aren't anybody left on the planet unless you're living under a rock, but here we go. Geralt of Rivia is the baddest, hardest motherfucker at slaying beasts and humanoids and whatever else you need done. If you've got a bounty, you take a thumbtack, you stick it to the board, and Geralt's gonna get it done. I guarantee you that. He works for money. He takes credit cards, Venmo, whatever you need. He is there, and he is going to clean up those monsters. You've got all of this encyclopedic knowledge in his head. You've got the tools of the trade. You've got your silver sword and your steel sword. You've got your oils. You've got your bombs. You've got your potions. It's gonna work out as long as you can write legibly and post it to that board. And that is what it is about when we're talking bounty hunters. Who's gonna get the job done? It's Geralt of Rivia.
And he only accepts Visa in his butt crack card reader.
Boop. There you go. I don't know what this is. Boop. And we are going to
The battle at number 1.
Yep.
battle at number 1. Jelani.
John Marston is a character from Red Dead Redemption. I've talked about him before on the cast here, but it's a character I absolutely love, and it's a character's story arc that I absolutely love. He's a person who he's not necessarily a great person, but he wants to change, and he wants to just go home to his family, right? And the whole game is about getting him home to his family by him being under the thumb of the FBI and being controlled and told that he needs to hunt down these, the bounties on his old buddies, his old crew. And so he needs to systematically go and do these. And of course, along the way in the game, you can cash in other bounties as well. But you play this character throughout the whole run. He doesn't really want to do this. He just wants to go on a farm. He wants to be a farmer. He wants to raise his son, and he wants to be with his wife. And he does all this. He completes his bounties. He makes sure, and the driving force to get back to his family. They let him get back to his family. He becomes a farmer. You play him as a farmer, and by the end, the end of his story, like, he's betrayed. Everything is shattered for him, and it's one of the best character story arcs I've ever played, where by the end you just felt devastated for what happened because of everything you went through, and you knew what he wanted, and you knew what he wanted to change, and him trying to complete those bounties to do that. And so I think he deserves to be on this list.
Very cool.
Joe.
In a used future that takes place
Used.
in the current month of the current year.
That's true.
That is true.
We're there.
We are there.
And it is used. Let me tell you, the road work around here. This is an interesting premise for a story in which a group of people are now changed into specialized forces to try to find AI that is essentially equivalent to humans. And in some cases, unique ones could actually kind of think for themselves. And so much so that they thought they were indistinguishable from humans. So it brings up the point and the philosophy of what is it to mean to be human. And these particular people that hunt them, known as Blade Runners, because they're not supposed to do certain things, and they if they go off the chart or off the grid or whatever you want to say, they gotta go hunt them down. Now, we kind of all know the story. I'm just going to get to the point of that Decker is confronted with these philosophical things that we're talking about with regard to what does it mean to be human? Does it matter or not, et cetera, et cetera. This is a story that's used in philosophy courses and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. Very interesting character that you get to kind of follow through that whole pursuit, and you feel for him and his grittiness, and played by Harrison Ford. I thought this was a wonderful character who, by the end of it, you feel for both sides, and you also are wondering, is this person artificial as well? And I thought that was super cool, where it's like, is this an artificial person hunting artificial people? You don't know. And it was like a biggest mystery of being a bounty hunter for your own people, your own kind. And that's what happens a lot in bounty hunter stuff. So very cool. That's it.
Nice. Well done. So here's where it stands. We got 4 and 1 still open. Geralt at number 4. Marston and Decker for number 1. Number 4, Geralt of Rivia. I say yay. I think he's a slam dunk at 4. He's a budget pick. High upside, low cost.
All right. I've thought about this long and hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you played the game since we last talked?
Since you last described the game,
Yeah.
10 seconds ago,
Yeah.
still haven't played the game.
Still haven't played that 80-hour of content game.
So
Yeah, you did?
I don't know anything about this character.
Okay. I've told you for at least an hour composite
I
on
know.
these shows about him.
I know nothing about this
Can't act
character.
like you know nothing.
By now, you know his birthday by heart. For God's sakes.
I don't. What's his name again?
I love it. And where's he from?
So, The Witcher character, I will vote solely on the fact that he's being played by Superman in the TV show.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear this anymore. Joel, what do you vote?
I will go, yay.
You are the worst.
Was it trailer number 3 where he walks into that house and there's like that pretty woman and then she turns into like a weird witch and it like becomes a huge fight and it was like one of the most epic trailers I've ever seen.
Witcher. Egon's Witches?
Was that the one that I'm thinking of though? I have to say that trailer alone absolutely had me hooked. And I think that this character, although I know none of his true deep detailed stories, I'm like, this is a very cool character. And I can't ignore the sway of it, so yes, it gets my vote.
Oh.
You had already had it with
This has
Jelani,
been
but...
Pop Samurai Network.
Oh,
I'm going to burn
buddy.
this building down now if you don't mind.
Buddy. No, it's... Listen, it is a very iconic and cool character from video games. It's just one that I've slept on. It's one of my egregious things. I think like eventually when we do a contention, we are going to do a list where it's like our biggest omissions from ourselves, personal omissions.
Oh, that's gonna be very embarrassing
I
for
think
all
it
of
is.
us.
I think it is. Like The Witcher, me not playing it and still not playing it after all this time is very egregious to me because you guys have talked it up so much. And I'm like, it sounds amazing. It sounds like everything I want, but I just haven't played it.
Maybe for like Extra Life Day next year, we should get all of us together. That is too long away. But I'm thinking, like, could you imagine a 24-hour stream where we're flipping back between each of us playing games that we should have played years ago?
I just want to force. We have to force. That's the time we force Joe to play Mass Effect.
Yes.
Tie me down.
I'll play. I never played Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
And then you could play Witcher. And those are 3 epic games. That'd be a lot of fun.
It's a tri-stream. The Triforce for Extra Life. Just us trying to get through these games.
Okay, Geralt made it at 4. Mm-hmm. Now to number 1, Jelani. Marston or Decker?
Oh God,
they're both kind of gritty, by the way. I like
they're
that.
very gritty,
pretty gritty.
All right, so this is.
One's nitty.
I want to say
one's gritty.
I love both characters. I love the Blade Runner movie.
Yeah.
I love this game.
Yeah.
If I'm going to choose, I will have to stick with my character simply because it's more personal to me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But that's the only factor. I think like if any other way, I would probably vote Deckard. But because it's personal to me, I'm gonna stay with John.
All right.
Right?
Yeah, I hear you. Which means it's up to you because I'm voting for the Blade Runner.
Okay, so this is a bad time for me to tell you both that I have never finished a Red Dead game, and I've actually never sat through Blade Runner.
Well, now you have.
Wow.
So that's very embarrassing for me.
Oof. Abstain?
But I'm not going to abstain because that would be very cruel. So the person that won me over with their argument was Joel for Decker. I think that he sounds like the more compelling character.
Yeah.
And a better
flowers, I appreciate it.
And a better way to wrap up this list because we don't actually have any movie characters on this list.
That's true. And I'm totally fine with that. Again, like I love Deckard and like his story arc and everything that it is.
Cool too. So don't worry. It's that was an even.
It's just like which one do you choose? But you got to put up a contention. This is what this the show's about.
Hell yeah.
If not for your arguments, I would have gone Marston because I've played more Red Dead Redemption than I have seen of Blade Runner.
Interesting.
So you've seen neither of them, though?
Say again?
You've seen neither of the Blade Runner movies?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Just curious.
Interesting.
All
right.
Oh,
hey, Will.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm great.
Can you read us off that big, beautiful list?
I can do that. For today's match of Pop Contention.
We are rusty for contention, aren't we?
The top 5 bounty hunters are thus: Spike Spiegel of Cowboy Bebop at number 5, Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher, at number 4, Shadow the Ninja from Final Fantasy VI makes it at number 3, and his dog. His dog can come too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Samus Aran of the Metroid series makes it at number 2, and Decker from Blade Runner is our top bounty hunter. That's a good list.
That's a good list, guys.
That's
a good list.
Is a list to die for.
Yeah.
Or be taken hostage.
Or, you know, something like that. I couldn't quite make the joke. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. And listening to us bicker about our lists. We're going to take a quick 10. We're going to go freshen up. I'm going to place a hit on both of my co-hosts' heads. And then maybe the three of us will be back after that 10-minute break for Pop Aficionados, where we're talking The Mandalorian and all sorts of other new things.
Oh,
I hope you'll join us. Please stick around, and we will see you in 10. Bye, everyone.